Well, hey family, this is Darlene. Want to thank you for stopping by the Jury by BDK YouTube channel. I know you didn't come here for a sermon. So here's the video. And guess what? We'll talk. Well, hey family, happy Friday. This is Darlene stopping by real quick. I'm sitting here working on about 6 different projects at one time. And I have to take a break from everything else I was doing to try to make some, actually the pendant and some necklaces. So the pendant with all the coconut chips was just wearing my mind thin. I was like, okay, I like the coconut pendant and I want to make it a type of pendant, where it's just a jazzy pendant, like a big chunky pendant that hangs from a necklace with some beautiful beads. So these are some of the beads that I'm going to be using, the hand painted beads. And then what I did is I made a couple of wire beads. And the wire beads, I use some of the wire that I got from Miss JC. So I'm going to definitely be making more of these because I really do like the way they came out. And as I wrap them and wrap it, it's nice and sturdy and they look really good. So I was able to easily tuck wire, wrap wire, tuck wire, and then wrap wire. And this is what the wire beads came out looking like. And I only made a couple of them. I think I'm going to probably make more later to use for different projects. But in the meantime, we are going to go ahead and make a necklace. So I do know that a lot of people are not into big, chunky statement pieces. And that's good stuff. For me, I love big, chunky pieces. I love statement jewelry, and the jewelry that I am making is not for like everyday average, type people. It's more for people that like to dress, for their artistic community, maybe TV screens, movies, and things like that. So before COVID, I think I may have told this story before. Before COVID, I had what's called Vibing on Films. And Vibing on Films is a media outlet where we used to go to screenings. We do B-roll. We would do junket interviews. Junket interviews is where we would actually meet with cast members, interview cast members, and get behind the scenes footage and all that good stuff. And that channel is still up. It's called Vibin, VIBEN, ON, and then Films, FILMS. I have since giving that over to my son, and he's really building it. I mean, he's really doing a really good job. But what happened is before COVID, we were like thriving in it. It was going really good. And then no sooner than COVID hit, when they started allowing people to come back in, they were requiring that people had a COVID shot. So they wanted you to have the COVID shot, like all the shots that was the government was talking about. They wanted you to have all those shots, and you had to have a card. Remember when they wanted you to have a card? So they wanted you to have the card, and there was like some other little stipulations and requirements and stuff. And I had told the people that work with me, I'm not doing none of it. I'm not taking none of the shots. I'm not doing anything. And then I had a conversation with them. They were all saying too, Darlene, we ain't doing it either. And I said, okay, well then that only means that we're just not going to be doing anything, because I'm not doing any of it. So as it died down, everything kind of got more back to normal. So now it's to the point where it's like it was before COVID. And I said all that to say, so even though my jewelry is like big, it's bulky, it's statement, there's a strategy behind pretty much everything that I do. Because of my son doing red carpet coverage and having the digital magazine like I have with the Jury by BDK. So he has a Vibing on Films digital magazine that goes out to thousands of people, right? So he does that. He does the red carpet coverage. He does interviews. He does that stuff. So for his digital magazine, there will always be ads in his magazine for my product, for Jewelry by BDK, right? So he's in the entertainment industry by way of a media outlet, what I was doing before. But because he's young and good looking and articulate, and he's very smart, right? he can grow it to, like, man, probably places I never even thought of. So his little business plan and everything he's talking about is like absolutely so cool. So I can see red carpet. I can see my pieces on the red carpet, and that's a whole thing, figuring out a strategy and a way to get them on the red carpet. So if my son is there, he has access. I have access too, but he has access, and he's more so in the industry, and he's connecting and sending out digital magazines to all these people and all that good stuff, PR people, agents, cast members, all this type of stuff. They get the digital magazine, they get the Vibing on Film digital magazine. So when they get the magazine, of course, they're looking in it to see, what'd you say about us, right? What'd you say about me? And that's pretty much what people look for. They look for ways for you to promote them. What did you say about them? Was the movie any good? All this good stuff. So they're going to always look through the magazine, always anticipate the magazine. And as they're going through, they'll see ads for Jewelry by BDK. So the jewelry will be in there and all that good stuff. So there is a method to what it is that I do. And that's why I be saying there's like 1,000 ways. There's like so many ways to be able to do what it is that you want to do when it comes to your jewelry line. It just takes some thinking outside of the box. It takes some thinking. Forget what anybody else is doing. What is the Holy Spirit telling you to do? And the thing with it is, when you have thoughts to do things, ponder those things, think about it, and say, okay, well, how can I implement that? Because the thought didn't just come from nowhere. It didn't just come from anywhere. It is a way more than likely for you to do what it is that you're doing. But anyway, this is the coconut pendant. And I said all that to say, so, because sometimes people will be like, ooh, well, that's huge. I can't see myself wearing it. And that's okay that you don't see yourself wearing it. But guess what? There's a market. And the market that I am tapping into can see themselves wearing it. They can see themselves wearing stuff like this at the Met Ball. They can see themselves on the red carpet. They can see themselves at screenings. They can see themselves at premieres. They can see themselves wearing what it is that I make. And those are the people that I am targeting. Everyday people too, if they want to wear what they want to wear. But for the most part, there's a particular target that I have in mind and always did have in mind. But anyway, this is the pendant, and I am going to be using some of these beads, and then we're going to see what this is going to come out looking like. And I said all that to say, be encouraged. Figure out things that work for you. Figure out who your market is and what you're planning to do. But then I'm looking to see which other beads do I want to use. I should have pulled these beads out before I even started, right? I like this right here, but I only have one of these, and I got this as a charm. And that's not going to look good as no charm just hanging there. I only got one of these beads. Man, I like this. This would be nice right here, but I guess not. Let's try a couple of these beads right here. These old faithfuls from Hobby Lobby. And I got all kind of beads up here. And if you notice, I'm pretty much always grabbing the same beads. Always kind of grabbing the same beads. And I already like the way that looks. And I think what I want to do is I want to add another. I'm going to add another one of these on here. And see if that looks like something. Yep. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use a couple of the big beads. Easy and simple and not a whole lot. I was sending out emails this morning to a couple of places, just kind of introducing them to the Jewelry by BDK collection and some other things. Oh yeah, that is really nice. I like that already. Look at that. And just kind of introducing them to the Jewelry by BDK collection. And just some other things I was doing. You know what? Let's keep putting these on and see what they look like. They might be they might look better than what we think they might look, right? Yeah, look at that. That's not bad at all. And then we're gonna throw a couple more big ones on here. And there is definitely a strategy. I mean, you got to figure some stuff out. And, oh, yeah, and I'm going to keep putting these on here like this. Look, I really like the way that looks. I really like the way that looks. And then we'll just keep, these are 25 millimeter hand painted wood beads. I don't think these are on the website. Some of these will be on the website later today. These pretty beads right here. There are some new beads on the website if anybody is interested. By tomorrow, I'm going to be adding 50 packs. There will be 50 packs for $10 because I got a lot of extra. There's a lot of extra beads. So when I paint the beads, I paint them in bulk. You know, I do a whole bunch of them at one time. So if it's an odd number, it ends up being an odd number. That only means like it might be 4 beads left like this that don't fit in a 20 pack, 30 pack or something. So I'll add them to my little bucket. So that bucket is full of just extra beads. So I'm going to be putting together some 50 packs, and those 50 packs are going to be $10. So those should either be on the website tonight or in the morning, but they will be on there. A lot of beautiful beads. I do know some of these beads will probably be in there. Then there's a lot of new ones in there too. I really like this already. Look at that, right? And I think we're just going to go ahead and keep beating it this way. And I had no intentions on using these cowrie shells like this. I was going to put my little 2 at the bottom. You know how I usually put something down here. So I was going to put my little 2 at the bottom down here and just let it be what it was going to be. But sometimes it just ends up being what it is. So we're going to keep putting these. And these are the 25 millimeter. And my light is way over there. The 25 millimeters. With the purple base. I don't know why I don't be painting a lot more purple. And I got a bunch of paints. That's a lot of different colors. Not really sure. Oh my God, that is gorgeous. Oh my God, that is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. So I think what I'm going to do, put 2 more big beads, and then we'll start finishing off with the 20 millimeters. And then we'll finish with the cowrie shells right here. So we're not going to take these all the way up. We'll just kind of do them like this, and then we'll start with our 20 millimeter beads. And then we'll just start going up to finish it off. And we'll just do this. And I got a busy weekend planned. I'm sure everybody else does too, right? There's always something to do. And you know what the scriptures say, work when it is day, because at night no man can work. You know, and I'm sure we all know people that used to be just vibrant and busy. And I mean, you couldn't stop them. They just on the move. And now they just kind of, you know, do what it is that they do, because we all slow down at some point. You know, we all start walking a little slower. We all start, you know, because something might hurt and I do know one thing. If anybody, has did any research about inflammation, what you're eating can literally keep you in pain. I do know that refined sugar, white flour, pastas, breads, all those type of things will keep you hurting. My oldest sister has an issue with her knee, well, both of her knees. And she's always talking about, this is gorgeous, right? She's always talking about the pain that she is in. And I was telling her, I have done a lot of research, because the last thing I want is knee pain, right? And I was telling her refined sugars, pastas, breads, and all that kind of stuff using white flour can keep the pain. There's something, I forget what it does, but it causes you know, the pain. And she likes soda, cookies, ice cream. She bakes peach cobblers. She bakes cakes, and she fries chicken, and you know, like, she does all this. And I'm saying a lot of that stuff that you're eating is more than likely keeping that pain. This is gorgeous. Let me grab a thing. It's more than likely keeping that pain in your body. Hold on a second. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close. That is gorgeous, right? We're going to go ahead and close this off. We're going to move some stuff out of our way and put this here. And we are going to close it off with 2 little small beads. But I was telling her that, all that sugar, refined sugar, white flour, and if you research it, you will see all that stuff causes inflammation in your body. And inflammation is just the joints and things being inflamed, and they cause pain. And it's like when we get a certain age, we can't be, like eating all that stuff. So for me, I've never been like a sweet person. I like chocolate, but it's not overly excessive. Like, I eat like a whole bunch of chocolate, not like that. My thing has always been fried foods in the sense of fried fish or fried chicken. And also like butter. I like my crab legs with butter. So that has been, pretty much my unhealthy eating. But I was telling her that if you try that out, don't eat no sugar, don't drink no sodas, don't make no peach cobbler, don't make no cake, don't eat none of that stuff, and then see what difference it'll make. She had called me and she said, okay, well, I ain't had no sugar or none of that stuff in 3 days. And she said, I could really feel the difference. And I'm like, I know that you can, because it's what we eat. It's the things that we eat. And then the older we get, I'm going to bend this over like this. And then go ahead and just wrap it. And then wrap it closed like this. I'm using 18 gauge wire, by the way, the copper gold tone. I'm actually take this down right here too. Down that bead and then bring it back up. And she was saying, well, I haven't felt any pain. And I'm like, you more than likely won't feel any pain because there's nothing that's irritating it. So if you're taking in fruits and vegetables and, drinking a lot of water, and then maybe make you some watermelon and ginger with a little lemon juices. And a lot of you guys probably know all that. But she was saying, yeah, I could really feel a difference. I'm like, I know you can. That's why you be seeing I don't be messing with all that stuff. I'm like, I'm not trying to be walking around here in no pain. I'm not trying to be walking around here just, just body just deteriorating naturally, and then you helping it. It's like, nah, I'm not doing that. I don't even plan to do that. If I gotta just eat watermelon and quinoa, okay. Okay, so we close off that side like that, and that's how we close our side. This is a beautiful necklace. So we got that, and then I push this down too much. Okay, so what happened? I'm gonna show you what I just did. So because it was tight, I should have waited. Because it was tight, I pushed the beads up, and it loosened it like that. So I don't want that loose like that. So what I'm going to have to do is, after I loosen this wire, I'm going to have to tighten it back by pushing the beads. So it'll be tight like this again, right, on the end, and that's good. And I'm going to close it, but not as tight. So I'm going to close it off like that. Oh, no, hold on. Let me put let's put this on here. Our closure lobster clasp. Well, I'm going to thread that on like that. And then we have our lobster clasp. And then I am basically holding it. So the lobster clasp is here. And I'm holding, let me bend that down a little bit more. So I bent that like that, the wire. Go ahead and hold it. And then wrap it. And then that'll secure the clasp on there. So we're going to wrap this around, bring it back up. And then you can see how that closes that lobster clasp on there. And then we'll just go ahead and keep wrapping that wire up around here. And you can use as much wire as you want to use. I happen to like a lot of wire because to me it makes it look more rich. It makes the piece look rich. So I'm going, because I don't want all this wire, I'm going to have to clip some of this wire off. And there are times where you're going to lose a little bit of wire. That's an itty bitty piece, but you know, there are times because I try to save as much wire as I can and be able to use it like for charms or something. But it don't always work out. Actually, need to put this just a little bit more. And then I'm going to just go ahead and close it on the end like so. And then I'm going to just wrap it into that whole... Oh, and you know what I did? What I didn't do? I didn't use this. That's okay. I'll use it on the next necklace. So it's a little tight. And all I'm going to do is push it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just to loosen it up. And I always like to use 2 jump rings just for extra security. So we got that. And then we got our lobster clasp. And we're going to go ahead and close it off. And then that's what that looks like. And then this is what this necklace looks like. Oh, you know what I didn't do though is I didn't save 2 small earrings, but I wonder, let's just make 2, let's make 2 ball earrings and a coconut chip. Just to make it match. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. This is what the earring is going to look like. So we're going to go ahead and fold it. Go ahead and wrap that around so it looks like that. And then wrap it, straighten it up so it'll be straight. The top part up here. And then we're just going to go ahead and finish wrapping it closed. And make sure it's nice and tight. So the earring is nice and tight. And then we got some wire. Take that in, fold that in closed. And then go ahead and wrap that right up in there. Close that down. And then this is what we got as an earring. And I think that should work. And I am doing 2 different colors for the coconut chips. And we're just going to go ahead and close it, straighten that up, wrap this wire, and then make sure it's tight. That's why you got to use a thick enough wire too, because as you're wrapping, you can wrap it tight up here, and then at the bottom, the wire will loosen up. So it has to, you know, be strong enough and thick enough to be able to not come loose when you tighten the neck. I mean well, anything. This looks like beautiful, right? Hand painted beads. These are 25mm beads. These are the 20mm beads. And then we just went ahead and made our own little, not little, but our nice big chunky coconut chip pendant. And why? Because we want to make something big and nice and statement. And also this one is going on that new platform, that new wholesale platform, where it's the different big brands that buy. So this one is going on that particular website. And I really like the way it came out. And then we got, and I'm thinking, I almost want to hang something from the back right here, like some little cute, what do I got over here? Some little cute something, not something too big, but just a little bitty something that can hang from the neck. But since I'm finished with it, I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it like this. But I really do like the way it came out. So this is all those little coconut chips, and If I think about it or have the time, I'll do a video showing how I did this. I didn't do the video because I was listening. I listened to a lot of audiobooks, a lot of just empowering things. And a lot of times when I'm sitting here working, I am listening to other people's content in a sense of like audiobooks and sermons and things like that. So there are times that I won't videotape at all, or when I videotape, I'll put music to it or one of my audiobooks or something like that because I don't want a copyright strike. So that's what happened with this one. I was sitting here listening to something and, making this at the same time. So I couldn't videotape. And then I could have videotaped, I guess, and then put music over it or something, but I didn't think about it. I just didn't want to record. But anyway, this. You guys let me know what you think. It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood. It's a weekend, and hopefully the Lord will allow us to make it through, being productive and coming through without being scathed by any misfortune or anything in our lives, and that His grace will continue to shine on us every morning, and we continue to be thankful for that. Just be thankful for that. And guess what? We'll talk.